Welcome back, guys. It's Tyler, and today I'm going to show you how to make your logo in Illustrator and then bring it into Blender and then extrude it to make it a 3D object and then make it have a chrome effect on it, and then we're going to go to the sky and make it have an actual sky there, and it's going to reflect off of that 3D object, and the sky is going to be gone, and we're going to make our camera rotate around it, and then we're going to render it. So the first thing we want to do is click Create New, and then make sure our file is named after your initials and the width and height are 5 inches. Then we're going to click Create. Then from here we're going to go over here to the Type tool and click on our canvas and put our initials. Then we're going to go over here to the Selection tool and hold Shift and click on one of these corners and drag it out like this. Okay, what the shift is doing is keeping it uniform so it doesn't distort it like if we went like that or something. Okay, so then from here we're going to click on it and click Type and then Create Outlines. Then we're going to go up here to File, Save. Then we're going to choose a place to save it at. Yours is going to be different than mine, so then when we're saving we're going to make sure it's named correctly. And down here to format right here, we're going to make it SVG, just SVG, not the SVG compressed one, SVG. Then we're going to click Save. Then from here, we're going to make sure it has none. And then right here on SVG profiles is going to be 1.0. Then the type is going to be SVG, emmed, and make sure that's not clicked because we're not going to go back. Then we're going to click OK. Then from here, we're going to go and open up Blender. Alright, now that we have Blender open, we're going to click on it and delete this cube. So we're going to go over here to this section, right click and click delete. Then we're going to click on File right here and then Import and then down to SVG, the Scalable Vector Graphics. Then we're going to click on our file, our SVG, and import it in. Import SVG right here. And we're going to select it in the middle and click S and drag it to the right. It's just scaling it up. We're just going to keep going until we think it is big enough. Okay, right about there should be fine. Then we're going to click on the Z right here, and all it's going to do is make it a top-down view of the 3D space. Then we're going to click on both of them and then right click and click Convert to Mesh and then right click and then click Join. Now they're joined up here as a curve. Then we're going to click G and move it to the middle and then right click and click Set Origin to 3D Cursor. Then we're going to go up here to the preset viewpoint and drag the Z to where we can get a front view of this. So then we're going to click on the curve. Now we're going to click R and we're going to click X and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. So if we're rotating it like this, it's not going to be accurate. But now all you have to do is click 90 and then enter. Okay, so we're going to click on this one and then it's going to give us the front view. Then we're going to click G and move it up right above the X axis, which is red. Then we're going to go ahead and extrude it. So we're going to go over here to Object Mode and make it Edit Mode. Then up here we have 3 different things. We have the points, the lines, and then the surface. What we want is the surface. So we're going to click on the third option right here, and then we're going to click A, and it selects all of them. Then we're going to turn this red knob a little bit to the right so we can see the left side of it, and we're going to click E and extrude it about around here. Then from here we're going to go back into the object mode and we're going to look at it from the front. So if you move around, it should be in 3D. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is go to shading and then we're going to give it this chrome finish. So over here we already have a material, SVG matte, but we don't want that material. We're going to click X on it and we're going to click New and we're going to click right here where it says Material 0.001 and we're going to name it Chrome. So CHROME. Enter. Now we have the Chrome name for the material that we're about to make. So right here on the material output, we want to drag this over here and then click on the principled BSDF. Then we're going to right click on this, delete it, and we're going to go over here to add, and then we're going to go to shader and then glossy BSDF. Then click on it and click it right here. So now we have another material section like thing. And we're going to click on this BSDF dot right here and connect it to surface. And you can already see kind of what it would look like metallic. But over here on the roughness, we're going to make it 0. Now it's definitely chrome. Then from here, we're going to click on add, and then we're going to click search, and we're going to search up color ramp. Then we're going to click on it and then put it right here and connect the color to the color. And what we're going to do here is change this key. We're going to change that one right here, make it white, and then change this key to black. Okay, and then from here we should be good. And we're going to go back to the layout, and nothing's changed over here, and that's because we're in the second viewport. What we want to be is in the fourth. And as you can see, it's gray, but that's just because it's reflecting the grayness around us. So if this was just a chrome ball in a dark room, it'd be reflecting darkness. That's what it's doing. So what we're going to do is add the environment. So we're going to look up a very good sky picture online. Now that we're back in Blender and we have our sky image, we're going to go over here to the world, and right here where it says color, we're going to click on it and click on environment texture. And then right here where it says new and open, we're going to click open image, and then find where our HDRI sky picture is. So for me, it is right here, and then I'm going to click open image, and what it's going to do is it's going to put it around our image. So it's going to make the background have the sky image. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on the render right here and go down to the film section right here and then click on transparent. And what that did is it made the background transparent but still reflective onto the surface of our 3D object. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the camera, and we're going to move this to where we can see it at an angle. Okay, now we're going to make the camera move around our object or logo, whatever you choose. And what we're going to do first is click on the camera and click to this object portion right here. Then we're going to make the location on the z-axis 0, enter, and then the location on the y-axis also 0, and on the x-axis we're going to bring it left this way until we're satisfied, to like right about there. Then on the rotations, we're going to make the X rotation 90, and the Z, we're going to make it -90. So now the camera will be facing towards our object. So from here, we're looking at the object from the camera. We're going to go ahead and click on our object and click G and click Y so that it's moving along the Y-axis, and we'll put it like right in the middle of our camera. So then from here, we're also going to click G again on our object again, and we're going to click Z this time, but we're going to move it up a little bit to like right there. Okay? Now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and move to animation right here on this tab. So now that we're in animation, we need to look at a few things. So this right here is called the dope sheet. It'll have our keyframes and our movements and stuff like that. Then right here is the world view. And then right here is the camera view. So we basically added on this and the dope sheet. Down here, we have the start frame and then the end frame. We're going to have this be around 120. So go ahead and put 120 right there. So it's going to be 1 to 120. So then we're going to zoom in right here and move over. Okay. So when we begin, we're going to begin on 1. So if it's anywhere else but 1, go ahead and click on this right here. It says jump to endpoint, but the first frame. So boop, moves there. So now we are ready to animate. So what we're going to do first is click right here on this dot, and it sets the keyframe there on the first frame. Then we're going to go ahead and move this to 50 and move our x-axis location all the way right here to where it's next to our object. and then click on the dot. What it did is it made a keyframe from here to there, or more from here to there, and so if we go back, it should play like this. Okay, so what we want to do next is move it to 80, and from here, what we're going to do is have this move back to the middle, so on 0, keyframe. So also right here, we're going to put a keyframe, and we're going to go back to right here on the 50, and we're going to make the Z -90, and click a keyframe, and then go back, and make it 0. Enter. Okay, so then it'll turn like this. Swoop. So we're going to have it start at 80, and on the Y, we're going to click the dot, and we're going to go to 100, and then make this pull back. So negative, let's say right there, -12. Then we're going to click the dot, and also when we're here, we're going to go back to the 80, and click on the Z-axis, give it the key point. Then we're going to go back to the 100, and on the Z-axis, we're going to lift it up, and we're going to click the key point. So as you can notice, the object is off a little bit. So I'm going to click on the object, and then click G, and then we're going to click X. We're going to move it till it's centered, like right about there. Okay, so then from here, we're going to click back onto the camera, and the rest is just going to be it slowly moving outwards. So on the Y-axis, we're going to pull it out some more and click the keyframe. So now this is what it should look like right here. So you see how it's going too fast? Okay, we're going to fix that, and by fixing that, it's going to go slower. So what we're going to do is just grab all of these keyframes and drag them over more. So we're going to make this one smaller to about 30. Let's see how fast that is. Okay, we're going to make it 40. And this one we're going to bring to 50. Let's see how that works out. Okay, that's quick. That's what we want. So then it's going to zoom out like this. Okay, we don't want that to be that fast. So we're going to move this to right here. So it's going to slowly come out. Okay, I'm liking that. Okay, remember you can always edit and refine each keyframe. So for this one, on number 1, if we want the Z-axis to be a little bit higher up, what we can do is just lift it, and then click the keyframe, and then move it over some to like about right there, and then like so it's about to go through it. So right here we're going to scoot back a little bit to 20, and we're going to make the Z go down until it's underneath it on 0, and then we're going to click the keyframe, and so now it will go and swoop underneath it. So swoop, then it'll go back and pull outwards. Okay, so you can always make the keyframes longer, but it will affect the render time, and it will make it longer to render. So now we're going to make sure to save our file. So file, save, and we're going to go back to the layout right here. Okay, we're in the camera, so we're going to get out of that, and we're going to go to this tab right here. This is the output. So what we're going to do is make sure that our output right here is saving our project to the right place. So if you click on this little thing right here, you can save it to wherever you want. So go ahead and save it where you would like. Okay, I will save it in a folder I called TG Render, because it will, depending on which one you use, it could render each frame as an image. So it will render 120 images, or you can render it as a movie. Right now, I will render as a movie, so it's easier for you guys, but you have the option to do either or. Okay, so then from here, we will go to File Format and make it FFmpeg video. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and click Render, and then Render Animation, and it will render, so I shall see you in a second. Alright, so we're finished, and we're going to go ahead and click on this X right here, and then we're going to go and minimize this, and we're going to go look at where we put our render. Okay, so for me, it's right here, and I will rename it really quickly to my initials. Okay, so right now it's an MKV file, and what we're going to do is go onto the web and search for an MKV to MP4 converter. Okay, so this is the website I will be using, and I'm going to select the file, okay, and then open, and then I'm going to convert it to MP4, and then click convert. Okay, so now we have our render, and we're going to click download, and now we have our finished render.